Yeah, you guys broke the light goal. Yeah. Enjoy the show, part 3. Let's go. So in this scene, we got Gaku and X pulling up, and they Aurafarm the hell out of the guards, and that shit is cold as fuck, my nigga. So the building is going off, and they're saying that intruders are detected in the first floor, and they're like, they're not gonna make it in. And they are so bamboozled because Gaku pulls up out of nowhere and finish these niggas off. Like, holy shit.
Psycho.
Like, what do you mean awesome? Like, no, bro. Nah, this nigga's doing it for fun at this point. And I'm just gonna let this clip play because look at this shit, bro. So this bald man one punches Gaku through the whole wall, making the whole tunnel. And then after he's just talking to this guy, Gaku pulls up and gets a bullet through his whole dome. And once again, he's just Aurafarming. And he tried to go for a ride, but Gaku one punched this nigga in the fucking chin, set him in the air, and went him through a whole building. And I ain't gonna lie, this nigga looked like a fucking burnt potato, bro. Sad. So we see X coming out the elevator, and there's 4 guards waiting for him. But out of nowhere, one of them shoots all 3 of them, and it's just his homeboy. So how do you like the JAA, bruh? It's okay. I get paid $40 an hour, and there's a lot of bad hoes too. Is this nigga for real, bro? In this scene, we got the old man pulling up in a taxi, and he comes out the taxi and slices the goons. So in this scene, we got Gaku terrified because he sees this mysterious aura, and it's Mr. Takamura just Aurafarming to Gaku. And then Gaku decides, you know what? I'ma jump, bro. So he decides to get his hammer and smash it on his head and bring out his katana, and Gaku's like, oh shit. He tries to slice the whole floor and slice off his fucking fingers and ear. So Gaku tried to retaliate, but he sliced off his hammer, and then Gaku's like, yeah, I'm finished, brody. And decides to slice off the whole floor. So in this scene, we got Sakamoto's fat ass and his crew pulling up to X. Sakamoto can't believe that is literally Uzui right in front of him, and he decides to stab him right through the chest. And of course, Shin dick riding ass trying to do something, but of course, Christopher London comes to save the day, but ain't gonna last long because he got his ass cut. Sad. Sakamoto comes and saves Shin and Christopher London from getting sliced up by X homeboy. Sakamoto and X are just talking like how you been and shit. So Sakamoto decides to pull up on X and slice him, but it doesn't work, and then he breaks his pen in the process, and then he slices Sakamoto. And at this point, X is just talking shit because he's just like, Sakamoto, you old as fuck and you fat, and your homeboy Shin, he trash as fuck, gang. Shin try to right hook X, but he dodges it, and X is about to turn him to chopped cheese, bro. Once again, Sakamoto comes to save the day. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Shin is just so trash. X is just talking shit again because he's like, Sakamoto, if you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna kill your baby mama and your daughter, gang. He feels this outrageous aroma around him, and he's like, oh shit. And Sakamoto charges and try to right hook X, but he dodges that shit with ease. They just go straight up boxing, like left hook, right kick. Like, gang, this is just pure peak, bro. And then they about to do the finishing blow. Gaku comes out of nowhere, and then while Gaku lands, X is like, why are you here, bro? And Gaku's like, yo, I did not sign up for a crazy older man coming after me. So we get a peek at the door, and then we see a sword coming out of nowhere and opening the handle. And it's just Takamura once again, like, gang. So X homeboy is just trying to shoot Takamura, but Takamura dodges it with ease and gets behind him and puts a gun on his head. Takamura literally puts a sword on his fucking finger and then slices that shit off, like, yo. And he slices his throat. And then Gaku trying to spin the block, but Sakamoto just stands there and slices off his whole arm. Gaku is just like, who needs my arm anyway? And decides to kick his own arm to Takamura. Like, what? I literally don't think you guys are not peeping game, because look at this. This nigga decides to kick his own arm, his own cut arm, to another grown-ass man. Like, yo. Like, Gaku, bro. I understand it now, bro. So Gaku, being the real nigga he is, try to blitz Takamura, but X like, hold up, brody. And Takamura almost killed Gaku. And thank goodness X saved Gaku, because I ain't gonna lie, Gaku almost got turned to chopped cheese the Aki way, bro. Like, yo. And Gaku is just like, yo, thanks, boss, for saving me, gang. And X like, no problem, brody. X and Gaku are trying to walk away, but Sakamoto comes out of nowhere, and then they just start boxing. And then somebody gets cut in the process. Takamura comes out of nowhere, tries to slice off X's head, and then X like, Yeah, Dark Buddha, you got it, bro. And it decides to turn into a fucking TNT and blow up the whole building. And while everybody is getting affected, this nigga is literally Aurafarming during the explosion. Like, bro, I cannot prove it yet, but this nigga is a D1 Aurafarmer. So after the explosion, everybody is okay and like everybody's safe, I guess. And then Gaku's like, let's go, boss. And they just walk away to the sunset like nothing happened. So in this scene, we got Sakamoto chilling in the hospital, and then Nagamo and Hyo pull up, and then Sakamoto explains to Nagamo that X is Uzui, and then Hyo was like, we're gonna find him and beat his ass. Try to walk out, and then Sakamoto's like, hold on, bitch ass nigga, I know you ain't trying to fight Uzui, cause I ain't gonna like, if you fight him, you gonna get killed, gang. They get ready to box, and then Hyo ducks this nigga right through the whole hospital, and then Shin pulls up and do a clean ass dodge, and then gets this nigga trapped in the hospital. I don't know what that shit's called in. And they just start talking, and then they leave, and then he'll just bring the machine with them, I guess. So Gaku and X retrieve to this abandoned warehouse, and then Gaku's getting his arm fixed by this crazy old ass man in the deer costume. So X sits down and they talk about the next plan, and Gaku's like, what's the next plan, boss? And X wants to destroy the JCC. So we got everybody back in the store, yay, happy. And then Lou talks about the JCC, and Sakamoto and Shin needs to go there. And then Sakamoto's wife get mad as hell, like, you're not going to the JCC, guys. And next thing you know, they're on the plane going to the JCC. Yay. Yeah, part 3 is finished. Let's go. If this video gets, let's say, 10 to 13 likes, I'll do a part 4. Because after this part 4, I mean, the show is basically done. So yeah, 10, 13 likes, I'll do a part 4. But until then, I'll see you on the next one, bruh.
Subscribe to Glows.